Hey, what's going on? It's time for the Real Table Podcast, episode 25. I'm finally getting into the habit of checking what podcast I'm on, or what number I'm on. It's, I think I did it last week, and I think the week before. I'm not just relying off the top of my head. Anyways, it's almost 2. I'm recording this one a little earlier on Wednesday because we're moving houses this week. In fact, I'm working the night shift. Well, I'm working the whole day, but I'm still going at night. You know, everyone else is not. You know, they're calling it, but whoops. Shoot, I forgot to put my phone on text, but it's also almost 2 a.m. But I did just text somebody and I was expecting a response, so that one's on me. But anyways, I've been working all day. Oh geez. And yeah, I'm driving back from the new house back to my old house because we have to be out by Friday night, and there's still a lot of stuff over there. It's a bummer, you know. But look, before I get into the moving the houses and everything, because there's a bunch I want to say, I want to get something out of the way right now that's going to be a drag or a bummer. But this just happened a couple days ago. Los Angeles Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs. Tyler Skaggs passed away in Texas just a few days ago, and he was 27. He was drafted and made his debut with the Diamondbacks a couple years ago, and he's been on the Angels the past 5 seasons. And he just pitched on Saturday, and they found him unresponsive in his hotel room. No foul play. They say there's no foul play. It wasn't a suicide. You know, one can only speculate. I mean, you try not to, but you know, he's an athlete, and a lot of people are on medication, taking medications for, you know, something. So you look at Chris Cornell. You know, the lead singer Soundgarden took his own life, and they found some medicine in his body, and he had a little bit. He took like one extra pill, and some say one of the side effects is thoughts of suicide. And you know, you can only speculate, but you don't want to speculate too much. You don't want to, you know, you don't want to disrespect anybody at all. But this is just a real bummer. The Angels, this happened to the Angels just a few years ago. I think with, what's his name, Nick Adenhart, young 20-year-old, got into a car accident. And, you know, Angels, the team name Angels, and passes away. It's just before I recorded this podcast, I watched a video of some of the Angels players, including their manager. The day they found his body, the game was postponed, and then the next day they played. So they pretty much have to jump right back into it, and the Angels won against Texas. They honored him in Arlington. It's very, you know, it's very nice of the Rangers and everything. And after the game, they did a press conference, and it was hard, you know. You know, this is sports. There's no crying in baseball. There's no really crying in like any sport. But you know what? This is really something else. When you're on a team, you're getting paid millions of dollars to play a kid's game, but you're not protected from, you know, death. You're not protected from getting cancer. You're not protected from everything, even if you get paid millions of dollars. And whatever happened, and you know, your friend, your teammate that you just talked to, just played with on Saturday, is no more. And it's incredibly sad. And it's really sad watching these guys have to go right back out there. I mean, if that were me, I don't know what I would do. You know, I had last year, I had an old childhood friend of mine. She died in a car accident, and I found out at midnight, 1:30, in the morning, somewhere around there. I found it on Facebook. Her sister posted about it, and I was just heartbroken. I hadn't talked to her in years, but there's a pic, because I lived up north from Phoenix. I lived up there for a short period of time, and I went to preschool up there, kindergarten, and there's a picture of me at 5 or 6 years old at a birthday party with everybody there, and she was there, and it just bummed me out. And it was really scary because it was a car accident. Her son was in it. Her son was fine, but it was a terrible accident. And I called my mom at 2 in the morning because she was working up north, and I woke her up and I told her, and she heard that there was a really bad accident not too far, on the freeway, and it had to have been her. And it was just, I went in, and everybody handles and deals with death differently. I don't handle it very well. I went in and I woke my dad up, and I told him, and he was just shocked and everything, because he remembers them too. And I went to her funeral the next week, or the memorial service. But the scary part was, my mom told me they had, I know this is a very this is a comedy podcast, and we're gonna get to more lighthearted things, but like I said, I just wanted to get this done first, to end on a lighter note. But anyways, my mom told me at the time of the accident, she said it was around 4 o'clock, between 4 and 4:30. At that time, I was down in Phoenix playing drums and filming. I was filming The Trek by Primus. And later that night, I found out, and it just made me think, well, the next day, I called because I had to go to school. So I woke up that morning pretty miserable. I think I even went up to the teacher and told her that why I was late, or I think the teacher would I think she canceled class a couple times because, in her words, her partner was having a bunch of health problems. So I think I went up and I told her, I explained why I was late or something like that. But again, you just think, while I was playing drums and having fun and recording, something horrific was happening not that far from where I live. It was probably like an hour and a half away. Okay, it wasn't across the country. It wasn't in another state. It was in my own state, not that far away. And yeah, an hour and a half up north, that's far, but it's not like here and then on the other side in Maine or New York or anything like that. And I remember that song was dedicated. I dedicated it, to her. And then the next week, I played After Image by Rush, and that was specifically for her. I picked it. I was saving that song just for that. I was hoping I wouldn't have to use it. I was saving it to play it for somebody, or a celebrity, or just a musician, somebody I looked up to that would pass away, and it happened, so I played it for her. So The Trek by Primus and After Image by Rush on my drum cover channels, those were for her. And now this week, I already filmed my last drum cover last Friday at the house, and there's a bunch of things that are going with it, and I already talked about it. This this podcast. Well, yeah, this podcast is for Tyler Skaggs. You know, I never met the guy. I barely remember watching him play. It was only 2 years, and he didn't play too long with us. But no, this podcast is for him, and this drum cover is going to be for him too. And my next cover will probably be, I'll probably wear an Angels hat, and I'm going to try to maybe pick a lighter, upbeat song. But it just hits me deep because, this is a ball player. Baseball's been my life since, 10? 10 or 11 years old. And you hate to see this because, like I said, these millionaires, no billionaires completely protected. You can get sick, you can get cancer, you can get into a car accident, a plane crash. There's some things that you just can't stop or predict. With all the money in the world, you just can't do it. And like I said, apparently they say that his autopsy will take until October. And I was telling my dad earlier because we were, taking a break from moving and watching the TV, and I said, what would be amazing if the Angels could somehow turn their season around and, go to the postseason, go to the World Series and win. That would just be amazing. As much as I would love to have that happen, with the Angels playing, they're a 500, they're a 500 team. They can't, if they have a winning record, it's only by 1 or 2. If they have a losing record, it's usually around, they finish with 78 to 80 wins, somewhere around there. But I would love to have the Angels win the World Series this year. Unless they play the Diamondbacks, and I want the Diamondbacks to win. But, those are the only 2 teams Skaggs ever played for. Anyways, that's, 12 minutes? That's, coming out of it. Jeez. It's just really sad stuff. So, you know what? If you're listening to this, go call a friend that you maybe got into a fight with last week or yesterday. Go give your parents a hug. Go give your sibling a hug. Go just talk and make amends if you have to. No grudge is worth holding. If you're frustrated with somebody or something, just know life is precious. The drummer for Megadeth, I forgot his name, he had a heart attack on stage. He's literally on stage, had a heart attack and died, I think last year or a couple of years ago. And speaking of Dave Mustaine, he has throat cancer now. But Bruce Dickinson, singer of Iron Maiden, had throat cancer and beat it. So I know Dave Mustaine is either going to beat it or not let it slow it down. It won't slow him down, sorry. But anyways, so we are moving houses, like I said, and I've been talking about the past couple of weeks, but now we have to, because hold on a second, I forgot to do the date. It's Wednesday, July 3rd, so we were supposed to be out by now, but we're fixing up the house over there. We're adding another room. That really took a lot. But now it's all finished, but we're not out. So the landlord is giving us until Friday night. Okay? I have to pay for this week. But then we'll be in the new house on Friday. And it'd be cool if I can... Because I hope I can record in that room. I think it would be big enough... Because I can't really record in my car anymore. It's been fun, working and cleaning up the place, because now we remodeled some of the rooms. Some of the rooms are bigger. My rooms, I'm on the other side of the house. This is the room that we added on. My dad gave me the biggest room, and by gave, I mean we built it. So my drums are going to be back in the same room where I sleep. So right after I'm done playing drums, I can just walk over and just fall flat on my stomach. Jeez. So that'll be fun. Good times. And that was when I first started doing drum covers, and I'm looking forward to it too, because I'm gonna put all my sports stuff up there, my little flag pennants and hockey helmets and jerseys and all that crap. I'm gonna put all that up and really just drive home that because I like, with the drum covers, I like making the videos colorful. Colorful. Jeez, did I just create a word, colorful? I added another 2-3 letters in there, because I was scrolling through my videos and I noticed that some of the videos just look different, but I couldn't tell what. And then I looked at it and it's like, well, this one's green, this one's blue, this one's red, and they're all different colors. It's the same drum set and everything, the same room, but the shirt and the hat really just make it stand out, So it's almost like you're going for that visually pleasing, thing. Hold on a second while I get all this set up. Do this. Do that. Take this. Take that out. That goes over here. There we go. Anyways, it's pretty windy outside. But anyways, I'm gonna do well, actually, I don't know if I'll be able to upload a video this week. I hope I can. I just don't know if I'll have the time to, because we're moving, nonstop. And this is the other point I wanted to get to. Ironically enough, and I know I've said this before on here, and it's nobody's fault, okay? This is just how life works. But this whole week, I've been trying to, we gotta move. And it wasn't until yesterday I found out that we have to be completely moved out by Friday night. And I work Monday, which is already gone, but I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. And you think to yourself, you gotta be kidding me. So I put my Friday shift up for, exchange. Thursday, I can't do anything. Wednesday, I don't think I can do anything. But you think to yourself, I usually don't work Wednesdays. I usually don't. And the one week I needed it off, magically that's when I get scheduled. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. The last 25 weeks, I maybe got scheduled on Wednesday once or twice. And the one day I need it, I get scheduled. What is that? And the other thing, like I said, this is nobody's fault, but the past few weeks, maybe even the past couple of months, I've been having a lot of free time at my house. Nothing. Now the second there's a deadline and we need to be out of this house, again, in less than a week, now my phone's blowing up every day. I'm getting a message from somebody. Hey, what are you up to? You want to do this? And it's like, I can't. Why not? Because I'm moving houses and I can't leave. Unless it's at night. And even then, I can only take a couple hours off because I still need to move some stuff. So you just think it's funny how life works. You want to hang out with people. So you make yourself available and free, and you hit people up. Not a lot of people will get back to you. So you play the waiting game, you sit back, and you wait for people to message you up, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Then, when you get a new job, when you find a new hobby, when you start doing stuff for you, but it takes up your time, that's when people will message you. And you think to yourself, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. There's gotta be somebody controlling all this. Somebody's waiting for me to get busy, and then when I get busy, that's when they message me or call me. That could all be literally taken the wrong way with how I worded that, so sorry, not sorry. But I'm looking forward to the new house. We're relocating, sports franchise talk. I don't know what song I'm going to play first on the drums over there. I don't know what I'm going to cover first. I want it to be like a happy, upbeat song. Problem is, I don't really listen to a lot of happy, upbeat tunes. I mean, I do, but most of the music I listen to is very, just calm, sad, a real bummer or drag. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But right now, all we're doing is we're just getting everything to the other house. So I'm taking stuff from my room and just practically stockpiling everything in my room. Basically saying, we'll deal with this later. I'll get to this later. But anyways, I was just thinking today, while I was painting my room, which took about 3.5 hours to do, maybe even 4 total. It was a pretty big room. I had to do, the whole thing, and then I had to go back over it, with a second coating, and then I had to go around it again for a third time, but paint the very top, where the ceiling is. It was not fun, but I did listen to some good music in there. Well, until my phone almost died, then I had to go charge my phone. That part was not very fun. But anyways, a couple of things. I somehow got a blister on my left foot from the batting cages. I think that's happened to me a couple of times in my life. I get like a blister on like one of my toe knuckles. It's like the toe right next to your pinky, or not your pinky, your little toe or whatever. Whatever, I can't think of the name, whatever it's called. And I got fucking dry skin on my right middle finger. So whenever I go to pick something up or grip something or just, naturally move my hand, it freaking hurts. I don't know. This has been an interesting podcast because it hasn't really been that funny. It's been more revealing and more like melancholy and or a bummer. But, there's no way I can just, come on here and just not talk about it and just totally pretend that everything's fine. There's no way I could do that. Plus, we here at the Real Table Podcast want to be real with all 17 subscribers we have. But you know what? One day we're going to get, to 28 subscribers. And then that's going to be the day we're going to rejoice. Because then the rebuild will be worth it. No, I'm just kidding. But, what the fuck was I even talking about before? Something about moving over there. Oh, yeah, so I got, blister on my left foot, dry skin on my right hand. Everything else is fine. I was telling my dad, everything else is fine, picking stuff up. Yeah, my lower back. Dude, my left leg, like my left knee and left thigh and left leg was just dry. It was just killing me. It was literally dying. My right leg, right knee, totally fucking fine. I have no idea what the fuck it was. I heard something. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I was in there. I was painting. I must have been on like the second time around. It was either halfway done through the first or halfway through the second, coating. I was walking around. I was just sitting there. Oh no, I was standing there painting. I was thinking to myself, you know what? There are a couple of double standards that I think of, and I don't fully understand it. One thing I don't understand these divorces where, like, a woman will want a divorce and she just gets half of what the guy has and just has to make payment. And if there's kids involved, then, yeah, child payments. No kids involved, I'm not entirely sure, but if it is money, it's nowhere near as close as child payments per month. I thought to myself, why exactly is that a thing? I honestly don't know, okay? But I am going to sit here and question it, especially with the fact that a really good friend of mine, his wife cheated on him, and now she wants a divorce and is trying to take the kids. What the fuck? There's no... In the right justice system, there's no way she should win that. There's just no way. What possible... Because I thought about this today too. There's no reason to justify cheating. If you're with someone and you think about cheating, you need to call it off. You need to talk to them. You shouldn't say, hey, I've been thinking about cheating on you, but you need to address it and say, hey, I don't think this flame is burning anymore. We need to figure out a way to either reignite this flame or just completely put it out and just either start all over with somebody else, or maybe those infamous words, we take a break. Now, every guy knows when they hear we need to take a break, that's pretty much the setup for this is a breakup, we're going to break up, but this may be your last final chance, okay? And guys blow it every single time. Because when a woman says, I think we should take a break, it's a test. It's an absolute test for the guy because, look, I'm going to make a statement here, but a lot of this shit really comes down to the guy. And that's my other question. Is like, why is everything based around what the man does and why is everything not based on what the man does? Like, we need to take a break, okay? It's a test for the man, okay? A woman's not really doing anything. She wants the break. She's just taking a step back and just kind of sipping pina coladas or whatever the fuck, sitting at Starbucks, just kind of just chilling. This is what she wanted. The guy has to decide if he wants to say, fuck this, I'm going to go find somebody else and move on. Then she knows she got her answer. If he wants to stay committed to her and say that to her, so he won't do anything with anyone else, he'll just wait for her. Or the middle, which is the worst one, which is he overreacts, gets over sad, over mad or whatever, over joyous or whatever. Let's just say it's a test. It's an absolute fucking test. I don't know. Now, maybe I wish I had more people listening to this so someone could tell me, but maybe it is possible, or it has happened, I think it has, where a woman told a guy, I think we should take a break, and then they got back together and things worked out. Now, when a guy says it to a girl, I think we should take a break, do the same rules apply? Well, yes, they do. But here's the other thing, too, that I've noticed. Nobody likes to be honest with one another, okay? It's always just, I don't like you. Why? I just don't like you. And sometimes it's like, I don't like you because of this. And you go, okay. And then you find out that wasn't the truth. And you go, why did you say that? You didn't have to. You just kind of threw that, that piece of information out there. Thinking I wasn't going to find it, but I did. So now I'm going to tell everybody you're a lying piece of shit or whatever. It's a very complicated, complex, just like, what are we doing? What's going to happen next? And with these divorces, why is it that... Because here's what it is. Is there proof that she cheated on him? Because that's the thing. She cheated on him, wants a divorce, and is trying to take the kids away. Okay. Is there proof that... Okay, obviously you hear she cheated on him. There's some sort of proof or evidence out there, okay? What that evidence is depends. But even then, even if it's like video footage, it's still like, yeah, but what did he do exactly to make her cheat? And that's where the double standard question comes into play of a guy cheats on a girl. He's the lowest piece of shit on the entire world. We should throw rocks at him when he walks down the street. Make him wear a red R or whatever, the scarlet letter, whatever the fucking story is. We should sue him, blah, blah, blah. This guy's a piece of shit, whatever. Fuck this guy. That's the attitude. When a woman cheats on a guy, it's still looked down upon. But well, back then it was way worse, okay? It should not be like that. But nowadays, it's all there's this general attitude of like a girl cheats on a guy, and people go like, "Well, why did she do that?" What do you mean? Why did she do it? Who cares why she did it? She did a bad thing, okay? But people are like, What did that guy do to make her cheat? And you go, really? That's your first thought or question? And with that same double standard, here comes another one. When you're in public, you see a girl slap a guy in the face, people aren't going to run over and defend the guy. And you look at the girl and be like, you piece of shit, you leave him alone. What'd you do that for? Blah, blah, blah. In fact, people are going to go the opposite way because, A, she's probably a crazy bitch. And more importantly, people go, gee, I wonder what he did to get her so mad that she slapped him in the face. Almost like it's acceptable. Like it's totally acceptable to just hit a guy in public, in private, for whatever reason, because he didn't do what you wanted or he didn't give you the reaction that you were looking for. Or maybe in a world he does deserve to get hit, but still doesn't make it right. Man, this is like the deep one on this podcast. We're asking the real thick questions. I don't know why I said thick, but yeah, these are pretty thick questions because there are many layers to it. They make you think, okay? And I know I've probably pissed off a lot of people I'm asking questions, I'm making comments, okay? But I'm also observing because everybody knows you see a guy overreact in public and nobody's dumb enough to just slap a girl in public, okay? You just don't, okay? Unfortunately, wife beaters are smart enough to know that they just wait till they're behind closed doors and then that's it. But the other thing that I just want to know is, again, with these divorces, who made this up? Why is it like, okay, again, there's this general attitude of a girl, or let's say woman. A woman gets a divorce from a guy. It's sad, it's a bummer, but people go, well, you were better off without him. And isn't that funny? Every single time, male or female, somebody breaks up with them or doesn't work out, people always go like, yeah, you could do better without him. He's kind of a piece of shit, or, she wasn't that great for you, blah, blah, blah. And you think to yourself, did you think that before? Were you ever going to say anything, or are you just going to keep that in your back pocket? I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say you should go and trash talk every single, relationship. Yeah. But it is funny though how like 1 second everyone thinks you're a cute couple and the next second someone's just like, yeah, I didn't like that guy. He's kind of a piece of shit. Very rarely are people like, but he seems like a really nice guy. I'm genuinely surprised he did this. Or, same for women. But, and I just kind of lost my train of thought now. Cool. But anyways, you kind of get it. There's this whole attitude of, I remember, it's like, so a woman wants a divorce. It's like, it says, this is a new chapter. You go, girl. He's a piece of shit. He didn't, try. Again, it's all on the guy. Even if the guy's like actually doing something, if he's just working a lot and not seeing her enough, which is not, I'm not saying that's inexcusable. It's like, dude, you gotta see your wife or whatever. You gotta do shit. You have to notice her. You gotta make love to her. You gotta know when to, be like, hey, you want to talk about your day or whatever? But when it's the other way around, when it's like when guys want a divorce, when guys leave, he's still looked at as a piece of shit in a sense. Unless it was just toxic and everybody knows that she's a skank, she's a whore, or anything like that, then people go, you made the right move. But it seems like other than that, there's this general attitude or consensus that you piece of shit, you should have tried harder. She was a good girl, why did you do this? And it's like, well, dude, if it was the other way around, you would be all for this. You'd be all for the divorce. But now when I want it, And when I'm like making the calls and everything, you don't like it? It just it doesn't add up. These divorce, proceedings, they don't make much sense. I wish somebody could explain it to me. I wish I could look it up. Oh, jeez. But they don't make any much sense. Look, my parents got divorced. It was one of the smoother, easier divorces you're ever going to hear of. And isn't that ironic too, that people cannot make a decision together, but when they get divorced, they agree on practically everything. So it's like you work well as a team when you're trying to get away from each other, but when you're together, you can't do it. And that reminds me, there's this intense marriage counselor or counseling. Basically, what it is, I want to say it's somewhere in Scotland. Actually, it's this castle they have. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's like intense marriage counseling. And apparently they've been doing this for hundreds of years. They have people who want a divorce, are divorced or whatever. They go into a room that has one of everything. So they have to share. Like one of everything. You name it, only one of them. Apparently, over the years, only one couple remained divorced. Every other couple got back together or they never split. And I really wish I remember the name of it so I could look it up. But I know it's not in this country. I know it was in another part of the world. But I don't know. If someone could explain these divorce proceedings to me, it's like, because look, the general attitude or consensus now towards men is all men are pigs, all men are pieces of shit. And it's like, yeah, there are a lot of fucking animals out there, okay? There are a lot of guys out there that deserve a bunch of shit, okay? They have a bunch of shit going to them. But not every single guy is like that. And not all the guys that are like that hear this shit and they just get bummed out. And someone was telling me that a lot of men have a higher risk of mental issues because they can't express themselves, they can't talk about their feelings. And you go, well, yeah, because the second we do, we're labeled weak, we're labeled nobody wants to hear it, shut up, I don't care, suck it up, and also, it's also kind of a trap. Unfortunately, guys have this mentality that if they open up and say something personal to somebody, when they get into an argument or a fight, or they're going to get blackmailed with that thing that they were upset about. So it's really just like, hold it all in, take a shot, drown yourself in the game, go to bed. So, yeah, all men are pigs. It's like, guys are like, all right, fuck it, whatever. You know what? Well, just do whatever you want. And I was thinking about this very briefly as I was in between painting. I was thinking, if all men could get together and just agree that, sex isn't really that great. I think all men could actually get together, build a rocket ship, and just fly to another whatever. Or go, if there was a way we can go to another universe where it was just men, I think we'd actually do it. That would be interesting to see. Society of just men. And teenagers and boys and kids too, okay? Don't get me wrong. And then a society of just women. Which one would thrive more? Which one would break even? Which one would quote unquote make a profit? Which one would be, not really that great? I don't know. It'd be interesting. You need a man and a woman approach things. You need a light and a dark. You need a heavy and a bright. You need all this stuff. I think I switched a couple words in there. But, this whole general attitude of, fuck all men, they're pieces of shit. And guys are like, alright, fuck it. We're not going to do anything. And then it's like, well, okay, hold on, not all guys are pieces of shit. It's like, you make broad statements about, broads, and you try to tone it back. So you try to just be like, it's only Boston girls that do that. Or it's like, only California girls are like that, and, not you, somebody who's from New Mexico. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying at this point. I'm really fucking tired. Really quickly, I played Call of Duty Black Ops 4 for the first time ever since it came out a few days ago, and the two maps I played were fucking amazing. It was the Roman Coliseum one and the Titanic. I played the Titanic once, but fighting zombies on the Titanic, I didn't know I needed it in my life, but apparently I do. Anyways, 40 minutes. Maybe try to get to 41 minutes, make it a weird number for the length of a podcast. But I got to get some sleep because I got another 12-hour day coming tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a bunch of stuff moved into that other house. Be a real drag if we don't get it. But I think we will. But anyways, I'll check in on you on Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. Tyler Skaggs, rest in peace. Send your thoughts and prayers out to his family and the Los Angeles Angels. Let's all be Angels fans, at least for the next week, or just for the rest of your life, whatever floats your boat. Anyways, that's the Real Table Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you Saturday. Bye.